Hey guys, Tatiana Ward here. So, okay, like so many things to talk about in this video. If you're new to my channel, I started taking the weight loss injection called Wegovy in February of this year, 2023. And I have been updating my followers on what that looked like from the very beginning, what that meant, how I went about getting prescribed that medication. And if you'd like to see the journey from the very beginning, there's always links in my videos to where you can go back and just start from the very beginning. Long story short, I've had great success with Wegovy. Please don't mind me. It's a very, very busy week for me. So no makeup. I'm just running around in like my house dress, like don't mind me. So in my last video, I explained that there is a shortage in the dosage of Wegovy that I take. So if you're unfamiliar with Wegovy, it comes in a package of 4 and you take 4 pens and then you go up to the next highest dosage. I was on my, what would be like the 3rd box, I guess, which was 1 milligram, and I can't find it anywhere. My doctor called in the prescription for me weeks ago, and CVS just keeps saying, we don't have it yet, we don't have it yet, we don't have it yet. So it is my endocrinologist who prescribed me this medication to begin with. I take the shot once a week on Wednesdays, which incidentally today is Wednesday. So I will be taking a shot tonight. However, 2 weeks ago, I ran out of pens and I just so happened to see my endocrinologist on that day. I kind of got to backtrack a little bit though, because when I told you guys just now that like you get a package of 4 pens and then you move up. So my doctor didn't necessarily each time move me up to the next highest dosage. If I was having success on a certain pen and didn't need to move up, he would just prescribe another 4 pens of that same dosage. So since February, I haven't gotten all the way through, to the highest dosage because my doctor doesn't feel like I need it. He's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So when he was prescribing the 1 milligram, I had already been taking the 1 milligram. Anyway, so I'm telling my doctor that I can't find it. And he's like, okay, well, I am going to give you Ozempic. He then proceeds to get up, leave the office, and come back. And he hands me 2 boxes, and he says, I'm going to have the nurse come in and tell you how to use Ozempic. Now, for those of you who are unaware, Ozempic is also a weekly injection, and it is literally the same exact chemical compound or whatever as Wegovy. The manufacturers who make Ozempic also make Wegovy. Ozempic is marketed to people with diabetes. They realized that people were misusing the drug and taking away from the diabetic people that actually needed it because people caught on to the fact that you could lose weight on this drug. So the manufacturer then came out with Wegovy, which is, again, it's literally the same exact drug, different packaging. And they created Wegovy for weight loss, or they repackaged it for weight loss. So there's Ozempic and Wegovy, however, they're the exact same thing. So he gave me 2 boxes and then was like, I'm going to have the nurse come in and explain to you how to use this pen. And I'm like, and he said, like, my doctor had them in the office. Like, I didn't have to go pick up the prescription. He had samples, and it says on the box that it is a sample. I was not expecting that at all. I just thought he was going to be like, you're beat. But I was super glad. And I've always been curious about Wegovy because I've always been curious about Ozempic because people talk about how it's administered differently. It is a once a week pen, but like it's different. So I'm super nervous about messing this up, right? So I film the nurse as she's explaining to me how to use this pen because apparently she begins to explain that the Ozempic pen can be used for 4 different shots. So 1 pen, 4 different shots. And then she's like, you gotta do some clicks. I wanna put the video in here so you guys can see her explaining it to me. So just watch her account of how I need to administer this.
Can you see? Mm-hmm. All right, so go to this line with the 2 dots. Mm-hmm. Push the button. Okay. Make sure the needle is on.
Okay.
Because you're going to need to see, as soon as you see a shot of medicine come out, then all the air is out and the pen is primed and ready for use.
Okay.
Okay. Now, it's 72 clicks to the 2 milligrams, but he only wants you to have 1 milligram. So cut that in half is 36 clicks. Okay. You're going to have to count the clicks. Okay. Start with the click after the line with the 2 dots. Okay.
Okay.
And then do 36.
Okay, so you could see she even wrote on the box. She wrote 36 clicks is 1 milligram. Already, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna mess this up because what? Like with Wegovy, again, you get 4 pens in one box. You literally don't ever see the needle. You just inject it into your thighs or your belly. I think some people do the back of their arm. You inject it and then you discard the needle, which I'll put a video in here of what you could see, the Wegovy pen. You never see the needle. With the Ozempic pen, it's like 36 clicks and remove the needle and attach the needle. It's just like, I'm feeling like, oh God, I hope I don't mess this up. So here's what the pen looks like. And this is what it looks like when you attach the needle, but it comes, excuse my nails, they're heinous right now. It comes like that. There is no needle attached and you have to manually put the needle on. So there's the needles. 2 weeks, I've used this pen, this one pen I've used for 2 weeks. It should have 4 separate shots in it. So that's why there would be 4 different needles and that's why 2 of them are missing from the pack. So I take the little thing. For safety reasons, they cover up the needle, whatever. So you remove this little thing and then you stick it on there, right? And then you screw it on. And then I inject it. So I'm not going to remove that thing because I'm not ready to use that yet. But once you remove it, okay, so I have the old needle here though. And so you screw that on, right? And then you remove the lid and there you have that tiny little needle. Okay? I'm like, okay, cool. I do the 36 clicks. I go to inject it. Doesn't feel like anything, but neither really does the Wegovy. So it doesn't strike me as odd that I didn't feel a prick because I really don't feel the Wegovy either. Some people say that they do. I don't really feel it because you're applying pressure and it's such a thin needle that like you more so feel the pressure that you're applying and not the needle. So then I pull it away and all the medicine pours out. And I'm like, not of my leg, it pours out of the pen. And I'm like, what the heck? The one thing she didn't tell me is that when it's in here, after you remove this lid, it's not on there right now, but there's a thin protection plastic thing. So it's 2 caps that you have to remove. So my dumb self didn't move the second plastic shield that I didn't even realize was there. And I wasted a shot, which is so sad to me. So then I had to do it again. And there's really no indication that that the medicine went in. Like, it's just confusing. And I really miss Wegovy. Like, you just press it to your leg and you're done. You throw it away. There's no clicking. There's none of that. There's no needle attachment. There's nothing. You just press and then discard. So I wasted a shot and had to do it again. And even after I did the second one, I made sure that I removed the thing. But I'm just like, did I even get it? Did that work? I don't know if it worked. And then the following week, I did it again and still felt like I don't even know if this is working. But it feels like it's working. I'm not hungry, so I guess I'm getting it. I guess it's working, but I just cannot wait for Wegovy to start again. Like, I don't know, hopefully soon. But I'm just glad to have the medication. Honestly, I'm glad. So that's something to consider. Apparently, doctors might just have Ozempic samples laying around their office, and you can possibly, if you can't find your Wegovy, you may be able to go in there and ask if they have an Ozempic sample that you can have. Okay, so also in my last video, I was talking to you guys about how I just couldn't get out of the 200s. Like, I was so close. I was like 201 pounds, and I just could not get past that point. Well, I finally got to Wonderland at the end of the month, at the end of July, at the end of June, like the last week in June, I finally hit Wonderland. This week is a really important week. I have a big event coming up, and I'll tell you guys more about that later, but I really wanted to get to 190 by this Friday. I don't think it's going to happen, but I am at 194.6. Friday's 2 days away. I don't see myself losing 4 pounds in 2 days, but it's close enough, and I'm pleased with that. But so the grand total of what I've lost thus far, I started Wegovy February 22nd of 2023. It is now July 5th of 2023. So February, March, April, May, June, July. My total weight loss is 46.2 pounds, I think. 46.2 pounds. So about 4.5 months. And that was all really just diet, not even exercise, just diet. Eating less, counting calories in the beginning, tracking my calorie intake, and just, putting forth an effort to eat less. I think it's safe to say that the Ozempic is working. I have zero side effects. I never really had any side effects with Wegovy. So I'm not surprised, though, because it's literally the same drug. So I definitely wasn't scared about side effects because it's the same friggin' thing. Now, whether or not I got those 36 clicks or accidentally did 37 and did I count right, I don't know. I don't know if like one click really would have made that much of a difference. I don't know. But I hope the takeaway from this video is make sure that if you do happen to get an Ozempic pen, make sure you have a full understanding of how to use it. I thought by recording the nurse in her explanation that I was doing my due diligence and I was really paying attention, but I should have just watched more videos like on YouTube, just making sure that I was totally confident and comfortable with it before I actually injected it, because I messed it up and I wasted 1 week worth of the medication. Anyway, next week I'll be back and I'll have some really big news. But as for this week, just wanted to update you guys on the journey, the Ozempic thing. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for all of the support that you show. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the encouragement. I truly appreciate it. And I will be right back here to share some big news with you next week. Thanks, guys. Bye.